Hiya, this is Miss Ashley again, bringing you another life guidance video. So this is a part two to the part two, or second episode, as I will title it. Um, we were talking about boundaries, and I made a mistake, guys. I meant to pause it while I was recording, and I accidentally pressed stop, and I wasn't sure if there was a way to put two videos together to make one video. Not all there yet with learning about that stuff on here. But we're just gonna make a second video to make it easier. Anyway, we're talking about boundaries. The last thing I said was to really think about the type of person you are. So hopefully you thought about that. Now, second thing I said was to think and create about the boundaries you'd like to establish to help you get to that person. And again, this is something that you can't, you might, you may or may not know it in a moment. It may take time to learn over time. I mean, for me, there was definitely some boundaries I already knew that I wanted to establish in my little, or around my safe space. Like I said in the first video or the last video, is just envision a circle around you, and within is your peace and your safe space. Um, some boundaries I did already know what I wanted. There were some things I didn't even know. And that's just how it works. I really didn't even know until I went through certain things that I uh, never really went through, or things that I went through before and I wanted to make different decisions. So in those moments, I've learned, hey, there's new boundaries here that I need to put in place. So, anyways, once you have a list of those boundaries or have an idea of what those boundaries are, like, you know, if I don't have extra, for example, if I'm things I need to take care of and I don't have extra to help somebody, financially, I'm just going to have to say no. And if I'm able to point them in a direction of resources, which I'm pretty good at finding out information, point them in a direction where there are resources they can um, obtain to get the things that they need. Um, Time. I used to be very bad, extremely bad at overextending myself to the point where, like I said, I would be physically tired, like really just drained. So if I'm tired and I've done everything I need to do for myself and my son, and somebody's asking me to do something, especially if it's not that important, I'll just be like, no. Learn to say no. No is a very hard word for some of us people who actually like to do everything for everybody. But learn how to say no. Even if it is something important and it's just something you really just can't give the time to do, and this is something they can truly do on their own, or they truly need to learn to do on their own, just say no. Just say no. Sometimes, yeah, you know when to say yeah. If you have the extra time, if you have the ability, if you have the know-how, you know. And again, there are times I said no and left it as that. There are times I said no and pointed them in a direction where there's resources of people who can help them do whatever it is they need to do. And there's times that I've said no, but told them how to do it if they didn't know how to do something in particular, or looked it up. I don't know everything, but I know a lot of things, and I either knew or I had to look it up and sent them the information, or tell them, hey, go on this website and look it up, because there are people out there who will, whether they know it or not, on purpose, not try to figure something out on their own. And to me, that can be very, very, very aggravating. Like, as an adult, you at some point have to learn how to do certain things. You have to have the push and the want to do certain things, or want to figure out certain things on your own without always having somebody to help you, because there isn't always going to be somebody there to help you. And how are you ever going to get as far as you want to get in life if you not willing to take a step out on your own and do things, you know? Like, and I mean like basic things. I mean like learn how to save. Go to the bank and talk to a financial advisor. All the banks have financial advisors there, and they're free. You know, if you want to start a business, there's information online. The IRS website, even the bankers. No. There's financial advisors who help people start a business, help them figure out how to save the funds, where to get the funds to, what to do with the funds, how to spend the funds, um, how to establish the business. There are ways, especially these days where the internet is so abundant. And listen, I'm 30 years old, or almost 30 years old. Can't wait for my birthday in a couple months. Hey. But even in my short 30 years, I remember YouTube wasn't as abundant as it was now with all the information. The internet wasn't abundant as it was. I remember we had a Macintosh. The screen, the background was black and like the letters are green, and it's like, you know how when you watch those old movies and they're typing the stuff on the screen on the Macintosh computers, and it's like blocky letters. And yeah, we had that floppy disk and all that. Okay, I remember when we got our first real computer, when the internet really started picking up, like expanding. um it still wasn't a lot of things you could find on the internet. Let YouTube be your friend. Okay, you don't have to go to the library, you don't just have to know. People I always ask, how did you know this, how do you know that? Because I pretend like I know a lot of random facts and random know-how. Even with things that has nothing to do with what I've accomplished in life and the things that I want to do. But there is a way to find out what you need to do. There is a way, okay? You just got to put the time in. As an adult, you have to do that. So we're getting off track. We'll talk about that in another video. Let's get back to the boundaries. I'm sorry, guys, I'm rambling, but so much I want to share with you guys, because there's so many things that I had to learn the hard way, and I don't want you, sweeties, to go through that. I want you to be able to step out here on a better foundation than I did. Well, I'm not talking about just the ones that are younger than me, older than me, whatever, the ones who coming out of jail and spent their whole life in jail, never got to learn to be an adult, coming out for the first time into adulthood. You know, people who just never knew. I don't want anybody to go through things that I've gone through, and having certain information definitely helps. So let's get back to the boundaries thing, because that's what we're talking about, right? Right? Anyways, so once you realize the boundaries that you think you'll need, um, sometimes it helps to write. If you think you need to write it out to visualize it, do that. I don't see nothing wrong with that. I think writing things out, visualizing is very pertinent. So now, those boundaries are the actual circle around you. I want you to bring back this circle we were talking about. Boundaries, let the boundaries be the actual circle line around you. Now, inside the boundaries, that's going to be you. Everything you need to do throughout your life, throughout time, this is what you need to do within yourself to Maintain your boundaries. So now we did step one. Think about the type of person you want to be. Two, create your boundaries. Three, now we're talking about maintaining your boundaries. This is everything you need to do within yourself. Work on yourself now to maintain those boundaries, to help fortify those boundaries so you can get to the type of person you want to be, the type of person you need to be. Now, I know it's a hard subject, but it's a more openly uh, talked about subject these days, which is really good because I don't see what's wrong with it in the first place. It's mental health issues. You know, mental health issues, that don't mean you are like psychotic. I mean, if you are, I mean, by all means, don't be afraid, to talk to a therapist. You don't have to have diagnosable mental health conditions to talk to a therapist. Sometimes we need somebody to talk to who comes in with an unbiased um, opinion, unbiased feedback. And what I've realized talking to friends and family is there is going to be some bias. There's going to be people who are just going to downplay what you're saying. There's going to be people who's going to be like, "Oh, well, you're young. You don't know life yet. You don't know." There's going to be people who's going to try to, instead of listen to what you're going through, they're just going to make it about them. Well, I've been through this. I've been through that. Trying to make it worse. Make it seem like they had a worse life than you. And it's not about a competition. It's all about just listening and being supportive for each other. And then there's going to be people who, I call it ego stroking. That's definitely my term, ego stroking. Um, Stroking egos do not help. If you love somebody, stroking their ego does not help them be a better person. If they're doing something wrong, or if they, you know, are coming in with the wrong mindset, let them know. How are they supposed to know how to be better if they don't know when they're doing wrong? So, like I said, you're going to have those people that you're coming to them and you could have been wrong in this situation, and instead of saying so, you're like, "Oh no, you good, you did the right thing, you did your best." No, if you really love me, be honest. I mean, even if I know I did something wrong and I'm saying I did something wrong, I still have those people that's ego stroking me, and I'm like, don't do that. It's not good. um, so, sometimes it is best to talk to a professional, a therapist, a counselor, your pastor, your priest, your, professional who, again, can come to you an unbiased perspective and someone you don't ever have to talk to ever again if you don't want to about, you know you don't have to see them on a day-to-day basis if you don't want to. um so a mentor even is good too. Just, it's good to have someone to talk to. And if you feel like you do have mental um disease, disturbance, disorder, I would urge to seek help. I would definitely urge to seek help because unfortunately we've made it the norm to say everybody has mental health issues to a degree. So then for some people, they're like, all right, well, this is the norm, so I really don't need help. Sometimes we do need help. We do. And, if you feel like you need medication and your psychiatrist um, wants to prescribe you, try it. Be careful, do your research, but try it. And make sure you find a good fit for you, a good therapist for you. Not every therapist is a good match. trust me, I've been through a few, and not every single one of them. I've had ones that were good. I've had ones that weren't so, wasn't a good match. And, it's going to take time. Don't be discouraged. Um, your health, work on your health. How are you going to get to be that type of person you need to be if you're not healthy? You can't live a long life. If you don't take care of yourself, you can't be physically capable if you're not taking care of yourself. Lose the weight if you need to, or gain the weight if you need to. Uh, Choose better eating habits, better lifestyle habits. And when I say better lifestyle habits, I mean all around. I mean, not just with, what you eat, but, you know, stop drinking alcohol or stop smoking cigarettes, whatever you got to do. If you're taking drugs, um, that's not helping you be the type of person you actually need to be. Um, and notice how I keep emphasizing the type of person you need to be and not the type of person you want to be. Sometimes the type of person you want to be is not the type of person you need to be. That's something you also need to establish with yourself. um, if you need to work on your personal hygiene better, and you can laugh if you want to when I just said, that, but I'm being serious. Like, depression is a bi, like, it really is. And those who have it, who really have it, know what I'm talking about. Like, depression can take you so far off your norm, and you don't always realize it. You don't always realize it when it's happening until after it's already happened. Stop doing your hair, you stop brushing your teeth. Some people, they don't bathe, they don't bathe for a couple of days or for however long. um, it's hard to keep their house clean, their car clean. Depression is definitely something that can grab a very strong hold of you very quickly. And like I said, a lot of times you don't even notice how far it took you off until it's already happened. You might notice it, and it's hard to crawl out. So, going back to what I said about getting help, get help. There's crisis hotlines. I've used them before. I've called this one lady that I was cool with. There's actual counselors on there. It's not like regular people answering the phone. There's professionals on there. So, I've called her, and she gave me her personal um, number to reach her at her desk. And I used to call her every single night. And she would make sure she stayed on the phone with me until I fell asleep, because I wasn't sleeping. It's too much happening at that time. So, whatever it is you need to do to take care of yourself, to maintain those boundaries, that's what you do. Now, the last thing is protecting those boundaries, and that's everything outside, those choices that you make outside of your circle. And what I mean by outside of your circle is your interactions and dealings with the people that's around you or that come around you or what have you. Um, and I guess I can say basically deflecting when you're making certain choices. If you're like, I don't think it's a good idea to be around that person. Boom, nope, that person. You deflect that person off. Everything that you need to do to protect your boundaries, that's what you do. Um, and there's situations we make decisions knowing the outcome, and the outcome turns out to be the outcome that we thought, and we still have the nerve to get upset. Um, and that's not always taking responsibility in the choices that we make. Because sometimes, and even for some, a lot of times, we are responsible for our own okay? Get what I'm saying? We are more responsible than you think. You go around being around a person knowing how they are, And lo and behold, when they start doing what they do, and it causes a whole mess of things, and you have the nerve to be upset at that person. Yes, you have the right to be upset at that person and how they behave and how they acted towards you or towards a person you care about or whatever. But don't forget, you made that decision going to be around that person when you didn't have to go be around that person. And you knew the outcome, but you did it anyway. It's a hard decision because we find comfort in unhealthy things, negative things. We find comfort. And that's part of being a human, being adaptive. We could adapt very quickly. So with adapting, there is comfort. I'm not saying comfort is good in a negative situation or unhealthy situation. I'm just saying you've low-key learned how to adapt in that situation, unfortunately. Um, and it's not okay to keep yourself in that type of environment. So it's hard to make the decisions when you have to start pushing away certain people that you kind of want to keep close, but you have to understand, how is it helping you? How is that helping you, keeping that person close? Going somewhere like, you shouldn't have no place in going. If you know you're a recovering alcoholic, if you know you're a recovering drug addict, or if you are borderlining about to become an addict and you're struggling, don't go be around people who are, party, and there's drinking, and don't go hanging around the same people you was hanging around, that you was having that life with when you was an addict, or the people that are addicts and you don't want to become one, but you are very close to wanting to actually be one. Now, I just thought of something, which I had no intent in saying, but I'm glad it came to mind because this is important too. Opportunities with your life, some of them aren't really opportunities that are meant for you. So, yeah, seize the day by all means. Seize the day by all means when an opportunity arises, but be careful when you are taking these opportunities, because there could be things behind it. There could be definitely things behind it. Some of these opportunities are fake. People are trying to play with you, use you, abuse you. So just be careful. It's okay to say no to an opportunity, but be very weary. I'm not saying don't take any opportunities, but I am saying be very careful. Just be careful. Don't be scared. Don't be scared now. Okay? Just be careful. Be mindful. And say, hey, is this going to help me get towards what it is that I'm looking to get out of life? Is this going to be an opportunity? I mean, there's some opportunities that you can take that may not be necessarily in your career, your specified career, but it could be an opportunity that you can take to help you learn, that you can use in your specified career, or, you know, something else you need out of life. But that's it, guys. I know I done went through every step. I explained, I talked, I shared. So we're just going to go through it one more time. Step 1, think about the type of person you want to be. Step 2, acknowledge the boundaries you want to set for yourself. Step 3, maintain the boundaries everything that you need to do within yourself to maintain the boundaries within your boundary circle. And step 4, everything that you need to do, decisions that you need to make involving people and situations in your environment to help you protect your boundary circle. And all in all, that's going to help you create peace within yourself. That's going to help you learn and give you the space to love yourself. And it's also going to help you be happy. Get to the point where you can finally learn to be happy. You'll have the space, the physical and mental space to learn to be happy, peaceful within yourself and love yourself. And those are things that are very important to help you get so much further in life and get so far into the type of life you want to have healthy relationships and make healthier decisions and be more sustainable in life. I'm not teaching you how to be a rich person. I'm teaching you how to be sustainable, which you can't do anything that requires longevity if you don't know how to be sustainable. But anyways, I love you guys. And I'm done sharing about boundaries. Comment, share, like, tell me what you think. Subscribe, of course, and hit the notification bell because I will be posting on the weekly uh at least one video, but I'm trying to get a few videos out every week. But tell me what you think. If you have questions, let me know. I have no problem with answering comments and or answering comments and videos, whatever you like. If you want me to explain something about what I've shared in my life guidance videos so far, or if there's something else that I haven't talked about yet that you would like for me to talk about, you let me know. All right? Don't forget to comment. Like, again, comment, please. Let me know. I could talk to you. We could talk about it. It's okay. If you need somebody to talk to, let me know. I have no problem with that. Share to everyone that you think that needs to hear this. Like it. Please subscribe. Help me get to those 2,000 subscribers. I got more for you. Got more. Show me love. Show me love. All right? Love you guys. Peace out.